I had started using drugs when I was 13 years old. Through my whole life, that was what my world revolved around from that point forward. When I got a little older, I'd wanted to quit, and I just never could. Just never could get the. I would try. I made attempts, but just never did. I had a friend of mine that I used to party with. I saw him. He got to talking to me about the Lord, and he said, "You need to get the Holy Ghost. It's better than any drug you've ever done." From that point forward, I wanted the Holy Ghost. So I came Apostolic Faith Tabernacle and with him, and God filled me with the Holy Ghost. I was about 20 years old. It just changed my life. I'd never felt anything like it before in my life. It just completely, it gave me a desire to do the right thing for a change and to clean my life up, and I didn't want to use drugs anymore. And I got in church, and I eventually started helping teach Sunday school and driving the church van. I lived for God with everything I had. I did anything I could around the church to be involved. Ended up, I lived for God for about 6 years, and ended up getting divorced, going through a divorce, and slowly slipped out of church. I was addicted. I took 20 milligrams of Xanax every day just to be normal. And 1 pill is a milligram, if you're not familiar with that. I drank vodka and beer pretty much every night, just kind of a regular night. Wasn't nothing for me to black out, forget the whole day, urinate on myself. Just never thought I could live for God again. I'd always just thought about the don'ts and the do's, I just never thought I'd ever be able to do it like I did. I never thought I could live it like I lived it at one time. And I finally got to the end of my rope. I was in the world for about 6 years. I had a good job, and was pretty stable. And before I knew it, didn't have a home, didn't have a job, full-blown drug addict. And I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and she had said something. She saw how bad I was, and she said, "We need to start going to church." And I told her, I said, "I know where we need to go." And so I started detoxing myself, and detoxed for about a week, and without any sleep. I'm trying to get through that, and I stayed. One night I was up, and I thought, man, I'm just gonna pray. I'm up. I don't have nothing else better. I don't have nothing else to do. I ended up praying all night long, and God started reminding me, because I used to just sit and think about all the do's and all the don'ts and all the things that I thought, man, I'll never be able to live like that. And that's a lie from the devil. That's what he's gonna come around and tell you. When God refilled me with the Holy Ghost, He started reminding me of all the blessings, all the miracles, all the wonderful people that were in my life when I was living for Him, and just brought back to my memory all these wonderful things that I'd forgotten. Anyway, prayed back through, got refilled with the Holy Ghost, prayed all night long, and the next day I had to meet my dad. He wanted me to help him go to the car auction. My dad's a car dealer, and I didn't have a job, and he was going to pay me a little bit to drive a car back from the car auction for him. And when I had to meet him at like 6 o'clock that morning, and I'd been up all night praying and crying. My eyes were all red when I met up with him, and he was like, whoa. He's like, man, I could tell he didn't want me driving any of his cars. He thought I was high on something. And I promised him, I said, Dad, I promise I'm not high on anything. I've been up all night praying. I promise I haven't been using any drugs or anything. And so we loaded up and we went to the car auction. Got there, and there was people everywhere. The auction hadn't started yet. And I just started laughing. I started laughing. I couldn't stop. And it got worse. It got worse. And it's uncontrollable. Just belly laughing. It just got worse and worse. My dad kept asking me, "What's wrong with me?" I could tell he was looking at me like I could tell he thought I'd done some dope or something, and I hadn't. And I promised him I hadn't done no drugs. I promised him. And I was drunk on the Holy Ghost. I was slurring when I talked. And I told my dad, I said, man, you gotta get me out of here. I'm drunk on the Holy Ghost. I promise I'm not high on anything. And I kept telling him, get me out of here. People are staring at me. People are pointing at me. Because I was acting weird. I was laughing and slurring, trying to talk to people. And then I'd go hide from everybody. And I'd tell him, get me out of here, get me out of here. And he said, no, you're just being paranoid. You're just being paranoid. I just got to thinking about it. I got to thinking, you know what, God, why would you do this to me right here, right now, in front of all these people? You know, why couldn't I get drunk on the, you know, I'd never had it happen to me before. I'd seen it happen to people at church before. And I kept thinking, you know, why wouldn't you just do it to me at church? And today, I still don't know why. I guess God just knew that's what I needed at the time. I'd been through a lot with detoxing off chemicals. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, I kept telling my dad, and he wouldn't get me out of there. So I got to thinking, well, why would he do that? Why would God do this to me in front of all these people? And so I thought, well, maybe he just wants me to tell everybody what he did for me last night. And so I'm standing there next to my dad, and there's people everywhere. The car auction hadn't started yet, so it was pretty quiet around there. I just yelled as loud as I could. I said, hey, everybody. I found Jesus last night. And when I did, my dad grabbed me and he said, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? People gonna think you're crazy. I said, I told you, get me out of here. And so he got me out of there real quick. Hey, I've been living for God ever since. I've been back in the church for about 9 years now. I'm the Acts instructor, an Acts instructor here at our church. It's the alcohol chemical treatment series, and God's been good to me. He's definitely been good. I'm Michael Bell, and that's my testimony.